Well, good morning. Welcome to Living in the Tennessee Bottoms. Today we're going to be showing garden tillers like I've been promising for months here. But I think it's back at the beginning of the month. Good Lord bless us. I was able to purchase one uh, locally. I mean, we're just a few miles down the road, about 35 miles down the road. Wasn't bad. Going to be taking the brother-in-law's tiller back to him today. It was a blessing to be able to borrow it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the other tiller. I got to get them all together, get them in one spot. After I get them in one spot, I'll go ahead and show you some of the different things on each one. Mine and my brother-in-law's is pretty much the same. I think it's just maybe a couple years in difference. But it was nice to get it. You can see the girls out here. They're ready to get something to eat this morning. So I got to take a little break here, go out, feed them, gather the eggs, take care of the dogs, and whatever else I got to do. Got some more picking to do today. Just got done picking part of the corn yesterday. Picked 2 rows and got 2, I mean, it's probably what I might as well say 2 bushel baskets full. We was able to bless the family, bless some more people. You've seen the tomatoes on the other video. I mean, it's just astronomical. I mean, we've gotten. So that being said, we got to pick the rest of the corn today. Okra's got to be picked every day. But before I get involved in getting all that done, I'm going to go ahead and get this video made about the tillers and everything. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right. Came out here to the little gazebo, I guess what you want to call it. Miss Libby's been wanting this right here done. We set this up last year around Mother's Day. It has a tendency to, the grass grows up around it. I haven't been weed eating the way I should. So she's decided now she wants to do some landscaping. You can see by the ferns and the banana tree over there, different things. She loves greenery. Just not flowers, but greenery in its own. So she decided she wants to plant some different stuff around the gazebo here. I told you about, I think, in another video where we added the deck out there so we can sit out there to the pond and feed the fish, and it's kind of quiet and peaceful. We don't get a lot of time out here, need more of it. But since I had the tillers and she wanted this done, you can see the tiller sitting right over here. And if you look down at the bottom, it doesn't have the side guards on it, which to me is a no-no. But the gentleman I bought it from was a nice man. He was a preacher. The tillers had nothing but the non-ethanol gas ran in it. I forgot to ask him about this part, and I think I'm going to give him a call and ask him about it. My brother-in-law's tiller I borrowed is just like this one, but his is maybe, like I said, maybe a year old, younger. It does have the guards on there, but I'm going to give you a little short lesson here on cranking her up and what it can do. You can see already what it's done right here. I mean, it is a plus to have one of these. So let me get her cranked up and I'm going to show you a few features, the forward, reverse. That's one thing on this you'll notice when I throw it in reverse, the tines quit turning. That the tines is the bottom part down there. That's one thing, is the wheels go one direction, but the tines is called a counter turn, what you call it, it turns backwards. Some tillers are the other way around, they turn forwards. Some tillers has got the tines are in the front and the motor's in the back. So that being said, let me crank this thing up. that note there, I knew I was getting outside the video there, but I wanted to make that turn. So you can see that she'll walk the dog there. I've got it really set deep. I'll show you that when we get over and get all the tillers together. It has a bar in the back, you pull a pin, and it's a different depth that the tines turn. So right now I'm really digging down deep, but I can pull it, I can push the bar down and it doesn't go as far. You can just work the top area. But you can see here as, you seen when I stopped over here a while ago, as you're going along, grass will build up in the front of it. When it does, the tiller is going to get to the point it doesn't want to dig because it's holding it back. So you throw it in reverse, which when you throw it in reverse, the tines quit turning. You back her up, you kick the grass out of the way and start back. Number one thing is, came out here this morning, I ain't got my ear protection on. That's one thing, you lose this, when it's gone, it's gone. There ain't no returning it. They have gotten better today with all this new technology, but why go that route when you can put on hearing protection and save your ears? Got in a hurry, no excuse. Try not to do that in the future. But Miss Libby, she'll be tickled here in a little bit. We still gotta go buy some stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop what I'm doing because I never got out there to feed them chickens yet. I'm gonna go ahead and go out there and do that and then get the tillers together. I just figured while I had it here, I'd get it done. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right, we're back this morning and I got the two tillers out here, and biggest thing I guess I can show you this morning, I guess you can't see my head here. I'm gonna have to change something up here. Bear with me a second here. Let me change things around. I was trying to get it so we could see the tiller there. Maybe that'll work. But you can see one of the biggest differences is this is a newer version. It has, the 6 horsepower motor, where the one I just purchased has a 5 horsepower motor. This has OHV motor on it, where this one right here has the old standard Briggs & Stratton motor on it. For the price I paid for it, I paid $250 for this right here. It's a 17-inch tiller, just like that's a 17-inch tiller. One of the big differences is this one here has, you can see it has the guard over the muffler. It has a different type of muffler system. This one here does not have the guard over it, and it is a little louder. The gas tank is underneath here, where the gas tank is on top right here. The filter is right here on this part, where the filter is on the bottom, right here on the top. This has screws you got to take out. Right there, you've got thumbnails. But I am impressed with both of them. Pretty much, you put it in start, you choke it, and both of them crank. The first crank. They both are rear tine tillers. They both have the same type of tires. They both have the same type of start. This is your safety switch where you pull it back and it starts and stops. It keeps going forward. This is your fast and slow and stop switch. This is your gear switch. I know you can't see it right here, but it has a forward which shows the tines turning, and it has a forward that's just a neutral. So when you put it there, you want to go, the tines are not turning. It has a neutral and also has a reverse. My recommendation is, you can see right here, let me move this here out of the way. This is the old Troy built here that I've had more problems out of than the cat on a hot tin roof has had. I put a brand new motor on. I think I told you this before. It has the OHV motor on it. I think I spent $500 for that motor. Then the transmission part went out on it. I've been looking to buy another body like this. That being said, I just seen yesterday, I think it's in Union City, a few miles up the road, tiller just like this right here. It looks almost brand new, $200. I was about willing to jump on it and still thinking about it, So she's down, but the motor's good, and I can probably find something to use this motor on. I can pull her off, put her on another stand. It's got a belt system on it. I can either run another pump off of it or something. But back to this, you can see here, this is the rear tines right here on the bottom, and how they turn. It doesn't have a guard on it. What I was telling you is about the gear system here. Both of them, the gear system are the same. You push the handle all the way down. It's into forward with the tines turning, and you have forward where it just turns by itself. Then it has neutral and reverse. But the big thing is, if I can tell you anything, which I don't practice all the time, and I try to. These tines right here, you're going to get grass built up in them. You're going to get other things built up in them. A lot of times people want to kick it in neutral, get underneath there while it's still running, and start pulling. I mean, we've had hay out here for our horses and old ropes laying around and stuff, get tangled up in it. And you want to kick it up in neutral because we're always in a hurry. Go up there and start digging stuff out. It only takes one time for somebody to come by or just something. You grab something other wrong, you lean up on it wrong, and you kick her in gear. And when you do, you're gonna have a nub. I mean, that thing right there is gonna grab it, and it has no mercy. It's gonna grab, it's gonna turn, and it's gonna twist, it's gonna break, and it's gonna cut. And trust me, Mr. Bear here, I've had more broke bones than Carter's got pills. I think, you know, that's part of. I've done construction, all other type of work. I mean, framing, building, you name it. I've drove concrete trucks. I've been a jack of all trades, and I have broke some bones, you know. Cutting trees, tore bicep off here. The list goes on. It's not worth taking that chance of reaching underneath there. I told you a while ago when I was over there, I am going to call about this guard. If I can't find that guard, I'm fixing to make me one because it's so simple to just step aside and it gets you. That's one thing I do like about them. When you kick this thing in reverse, those tines no longer turn. It's a reverse, it's kind of like a neutral. That goes into neutral mode, and that's what I like. That's what I do like about these compared to the Troy-Bilt. The Craftsman here, it's got easy. It's in stop right here right now. You push it forward, simple. It says fast. You choke it, just push it over, and she'll crank the first crank. I just cranked it a while ago. Let me see if she'll crank now. Same way with this, and this here's been setting up for a few years. And the story behind this tiller here was a pastor in Union City owned it. I don't know the man, but I know his friend. When I pulled up in the driveway, his friend was there, and he's an auctioneer. I've done business with him, and he's a good man. And so I knew when I got to talking to him that I was in the presence of some good men. And he told me that he bought the tiller, him and his family garden, but his daughter had got into running barrels and doing horses. So now they're traveling quite a bit, and the tiller had to go to the side. So something he didn't need no more, the good Lord blessed me with it and everything. And yeah, and I trust him on it, and that's one thing about it is handshake. Handshake, it means that's a good deal. And back in the day, you could take a handshake to court. Just don't mean what it used to be anymore. But between good men, it still stands. So this right here, like I said, it's an older model, but to me, I'm blessed with it, and I'm pleased to have it. I'm pleased that my brother-in-law loaned me this one. I don't think there's a whole lot more I can tell you about them. You know, yeah, I mean, it'd been nice to have a newer model. That's like that's just us. We always want to. It's been nice to have a newer model. Here, good Lord just blessed me with a tiller for $250. And I'm saying, well, it would have been nice to have a new one. Forgive me there. Forgive me, Lord. But anyway, I'm going to end this on this note here. Like I said, I am no tiller expert, but I am an old country boy that's been around a lot. And that's another thing I was going to tell you about is when you go somewhere to buy something, though, it's like the man told me on this one here, he'd only burnt non-ethanol gas in it. And I didn't even ask. As soon as he told me that, I thought, this man's taking care of this tiller. You can check the oil, you can look at the oil, you can see how burnt it is, or smell it, and you can just something about us men, we can smell the oil and we can tell, like, man, this thing's been run hot, it's been burnt, you know, just one of them things. It's a little gift there, I guess. But you really never know what you're going to get when you buy something like this. Basically, trust the people you're buying it from, you know. You just have to use your common sense. And I think these days, common sense has went out the door sometimes. You can look at our nation and they'll tell you what common sense has left the house. But, you know, like I said, surroundings, you pull up somewhere and there's a bunch of junk and everything else, and people's got stuff out there. Yeah, I just got this tiller here. I mean, buyer beware, you know. I researched a while before I bought this one. I've been looking. I borrowed this at the beginning of the summer. So it took me at least 2 months looking before I bought this one. And yes, I may buy another one because it is nice to have something on hand, especially if you get it at the right price. You don't need to waste money if you don't need it. But I'm gonna probably go check that Troy-Bilt out for $200 because I said I've kind of badmouthed the Troy-Bilt here because it's been a pain. But in this day, it was okay. I'm willing to give her another shot. I do give a shout out to Craftsman. I hadn't been a Craftsman fan for. Craftsman went downhill years ago. Then all of a sudden, Craftsman has rebuilt their name, and like in Lowe's now, some of the Stanley stuff I bought, I used to use Fat Mac tape measures and everything else. They go bad now. They don't even carry them anymore. But you buy a Craftsman, I don't care what it is, 10 years from now, you can take it back. You can't hold me today. They may change their standards. But you can take it back. They'll replace it. I just bought a new saw, and we had used it, and it wasn't a Craftsman anyhow. It's a name brand saw, and it was a DeWalt, matter of fact. I bought it, adding on a room to a house. Used it just maybe about a month, and that thing, I mean, kept cutting crooked, and got to looking, and the blade was walking on me. There's something wrong with the bearing. I carried it back, and it was like, hello, did you buy the warranty on this? I thought, well, no, I've only had it a month. You know, well, they don't cover their stuff anymore. So I finally had to go through the rip-rap of, hey, I've been a customer of y'all's. I bought thousands of dollars worth of material and tools and everything else, and you're not going to honor this saw? Finally, the manager gets involved, and yes, they did replace it. And first thing he said, but if you bought a Craftsman, they'd replace it. So I went and got me a Craftsman. Now I went back to trade out. I went back and got the DeWalt saw. But from that point on, tape measures, I've been buying Craftsman because I bought one. It wasn't 2 months. And I tore it up and carried it back, and bam, I got another one. I bought something else, and Craftsman right now, I still believe in other tools, but right now, if I can buy a Craftsman, I'm going to do it. I don't know how they honor their tillers and things like that. I mean, I know they all got these standards, but that's just where I'm going with the different brands and stuff like that. That being said, I don't know if I helped you out any. Hope I give you a little hindsight on some safety stuff, a little hindsight on saving your dollar and shopping and looking for what you can get. And these tillers right here, these Craftsman, are a beast. I mean, when I said, that's something I didn't show you right here. I'm going to show you real quick before we sign off here. You can raise this up right here. It's got a pin right here. You pull this pin out, you yank that puppy right there up, and the deeper you go right here, the deeper this thing is going to dig into the ground. And once you get it dug up really deep and everything, if you want to smooth it out, you just pull the pin back, lower it back down to a couple holes like that. I think 2 holes is right here. It says 7/8 of an inch. 3 holes is 1 3/4. It has a chart here on the side. The Troy-Bilt over here to do the same thing. I fought with it. Like I said, it could just be a Monday morning thing I had. Now on that note, here in the Tennessee bottom, she's starting to sprinkle and rain again. Did it yesterday. I picked corn all yesterday. I picked garden yesterday, and I was sopped and muddy, wet. But you got to get it out when it comes in. So we're glad you tuned in today. Help us out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're just 2 old timers down here just trying to have a good time and just trying to share a little of our knowledge that we've got. So hope you have a blessed day, and I'm going to get out of the rain.